वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं परम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमाविद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे उल्लारलिङ्गायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं तं सचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वरनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी उत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैर्ननति कैवर्तककेशवः आराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः प्रीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
प्रजहाति यदा कामान्
प्रजहात्यकामान्
सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः दुःखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः धीर्मुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यथा संहरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यदा संहरते इति सम्यक् उपसंहरते सम्यक् उपसंहरेथ उपसंहरते च अयम्
सम्यक् उपसंहरते च अयम्
ज्ञाननिष्ठायां प्रवृत्तः इति
ज्ञाननिष्ठायां प्रवृत्तः इति
कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः
कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः
यथा कूर्मः
यथा कूर्मः
भयात् स्वानि अङ्गानि उपसंहरते सर्वतः
भयात्
स्वानि
स्वानि
अङ्गानि
अङ्गानि
उपसंहरते
उपसंहरते
सर्वतः
सर्वतम्
एवं ज्ञाननिष्ठः
एवं ज्ञाननिष्ठः
इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः सर्वविषयेभ्यः उपसंहरते
इन्द्रियाणि
इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः
सर्वविषयेभ्यः उपसंहरते
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
तस्य
प्रज्ञा
प्रतिष्ठा
इति उक्तार्थं वाक्यम्
इति
उक्तार्थं वाक्यम्
Up to this we saw in the last class. This shloka, this shloka prescribes the sadhanam directly for the sadhaka. That which is the sadhanam for the sadhaka, it is the lakshanam of Sthita Prajna. So here the upamana is given. Yata kurmaha angani swani angani upasamharate tadvateva indriyani indriyartebhyaha. Indriyani, sense organs of perception. Indriyani, karmendriyani as well as jnanendriyani, both indriyanis. Indriya arthebhyaha vishayebhyaha. Vishayebhyaha samharate. Yata kurmavat, yaha kurmavat, swani angani samharate. Tasya प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता भवति, सः ज्ञाननिष्ठः इत्यर्थः. But कूर्मः tortoise withdraws the lens out of fear, bhayat. But jnani, Sthita Prajna, it doesn't withdraw its indriyani out of fear. He has got mastery over its sense organs. That shows the mastery over sense organs, not out of fear. Therefore, the mastery over sense organs. Dhamma, which is one of the important sampatti in the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, that is prescribed as the sadhanam for the sadhaka. If Dhamma is not there, then the person is not available for Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. The person even will not be able to sit in the class quietly. The sense organs are always extrovert. Paranchikani Vitranat Swayambhuhu. Parang Pashyati. Always Parang Pashyati. Sees external. Doesn't withdraw its sense organs and try to focus on the task, on the only task which he has taken, that is Shravana. So therefore, Dhamma is emphasized here, withdrawal of the sense organs from the sense objects. Because there is a natural tendency, a natural craving for the sense objects, for the sense organs. Only when the sense organs are withdrawn, the mind will be available. If the mind is available, only when the mind is available, then only Shravanam is possible. then only any other knowledge, not only Shastra, Guru Upadishta Shastra, Atma Jnana. Any knowledge is possible only when the mind is available. When the mind is not there, no knowledge can take place. So therefore, the person should have Dhamma. The person should have Vairagyam. Vairagyam is seeing the dosha of the sense objects, seeing the dosha and therefore withdrawing. Vairagyam is of two types: Antara Vairagyam, Bhagya Vairagyam. Vairagyam is Viragasya Bhavaha Vairagya. Antara Vairagyam and Bhagya Vairagyam. If only Bhagya Vairagyam is there, that alone is not sufficient. That alone not sufficient for Atmajnana. Antara Vairagyam also important. Only when Antara Vairagyam is there, the mind is available. So for Antara Vairagyam, should have Dhamma. Only when Dhamma is there, the mind is available for the person. The mind is not towards the Vishayananda. The mind which was towards Vishayananda, which was flowing towards the Vishaya, the objects, it has to be withdrawn from the objects and it has to be directed towards the Vishayas regarding the Atma. Vishaya regarding the Atma. Directed towards the Shastram. So, from Vishayanandat upasamharati, and it is focused, it is diverted towards Atmananda Vishaya. Then only Chitapragyatvam is possible. So Vishayananda has to go to gain Atmananda. One has to go to gain the other. So for Atma Sukham, Vishaya Sukham has to go. Vishayan Vishavatyaja iti Ashtavakra Gita says. In the beginning itself, Ashtavakra Gita says, Vishayan Vishavatyaja. All the Vishayas, like a Visha, the poison, give up. So therefore, Dhamma is very important. And that is what is emphasized in this shloka as a sadhanam for the sadhaka. And that is naturally seen as a lakshanam in the Sutta. Then the next shloka for which the Bhashyakara gives a sangati and read.
Tatra
Vishayan anaharatah
Vishayan anaharatah
atuhu asyapi indriyani nivartante.
Indriyani
Vartante
Kurmangani iva samhriyante.
Kurmangani
Kurmangani. Okay. Kurmangani. Natu tad vishayaha ragaha.
Natu
Tatu
Saha katam samhriyate iti.
Katam sampriyate
Uchyate.
Uchyate
Vishaya vinivartante.
Vishaya
Vinivartante
Vinivartante
Niraharasya dehinah.
Niraharasya dehinah
Rasavarjam rasopyasya.
Savarjam rasosya
Drishta nivartate.
Param
Param
Drishta
Drishta
Nivartate
Nivartate
Tatra. Tatra referring to that sadhana vishaye, sadhana vishaye, with regard to the subject matter which was discussed in the previous shloka, that is the dhamma. Dhamma is the sadhanam. With regard to that, anaharataha, vishayan anaharataha. Anaharataha, dhatu is hru dhatu, and its shatranta is harat. Na harat, harat, harato, haran, haranto, harantaha. With the upasarga a becomes aharat. Aharat is the pratipadikam, shatranta. Upasargika hridataho shatra pratyaya ana. It is aharat, na aharat, anaharat. So therefore, when you decline that, anaharan, anaharantau, anaharantaha, anaharantam, anaharantau, anaharataha. So anaharataha, it is, it is Dvitiya Bhagavachanam, Panchami Bhagavachanam, Shashti Bhagavatam. Here it is talking about the person. Therefore, Shashti Vibhakti Bhagavachanam. Anaharataha. Na aharataha, anaharataha. Nanj samasa. Talking about the person. The person, Vishayan anaharataha, who is not consuming the objects, not the consumer of the Vishayas. Anaharataha means the person who doesn't consume objects, who doesn't aharati, who doesn't aharati, doesn't consume Vishayas, conception of Vishayas through all the Indriyas, all the Indriyas. Conception need not be only through the Chikvendriya. Conception through Granendriya, Rasanendriya, Togindriya, Chakshurindriya. Any Indriya you operate by which you enjoy the sense objects, even the perception of sense objects, that is considered to be the conception, the enjoyment. So, anaharataha, the one who has, aharata means consuming, the person who consumes. Anaharataha means the one who doesn't consume, who doesn't feed the sense organs with the Vishayas. Vishayan anaharataha. Vishayan anaharataha. Anaharataha here, it qualifies the word atuhu. Atuhu means the person who is not well. Asvastyaha, vyaditaha, sick person, diseased person. So, anaharataha atuhu, vishayan anaharataha atuhu asyapi, for him also. Sick person also, for sick person also there is indriya nigraha. There is dhamma, is that indriyani nivartante. Not dhamma really. Dhamma is not the right word for the sick person. That for the sick person, there is a certain withdrawal of the sense organs from the sense objects because he is not ready to consume. The sense organs are not ready to consume. All the sense organs are withdrawn not because of vairagya, but because it cannot, because of the inability. Therefore, it is not dhamma. So, Indriyani nivartante tasyapi atuhu asyapi Indriyani nivartante eva. But that is not out of vairagya. Two external things in life seems to be similar. Two external, two extremely, not external, two extremely opposite things. Two extremely opposite things seems to be of the same nature. Like the extreme darkness and the extreme light. In both conditions, you cannot see the object. You cannot perceive any object. In extreme darkness, it is not possible. In extreme light also, it is not possible. Nothing will be visible. Similarly, when there is no sound, you cannot hear it. When there is too much sound, then also you cannot hear. When it is above the certain decibel level, you won't be able to hear. The two extreme conditions seems to be of same nature. Similarly, here also, this person, sick person, seems to have his sense organs withdrawn. Doesn't mean he is Akshata Prajna. Kurma angani. Yata kurmasya angani samhriyante. Tadvat atuhasyapi indriya nivartante. But not out of vairagya. This person has withdrawn the sense organs from the sense object, not out of vairagya. He has got attachment for it, he has got taste for it, but now he temporarily doesn't have taste for it. That's what Bhashyakara says. Kurmangani iva samhriyante, this sick person, natu tad vishayaha ragaha. Natu tad vishayaha ragaha. Tad vishaya ragaha. Raga means the craving, the longing. Raga. Tad vishaya ragaha na. That vishaya raga has not gone from that person. It is still there. It is not manifest now because it is not ready to manifest. The person is sick. Therefore, tat vishayaha, with regard to those sense objects, sensory pleasures, tat vishayaha, with regard to those, the craving, with regard to that sense object, the craving for that has not gone. Tat vishayaha. Tad Vishayaha is the qualifier for the word Raga. Tad referring to the Vishaya. So Tad Vishayaha means, Tad Vishayaha is the word qualifying the word Raga. Tad refers to Vishaya. And Vishaya also is there. So Tad Vishayaha means Vishayaha, Vishayaha. Vishayaha, Vishayaha. Vishayaha, Vishayaha, Yasya, Ragasya, Saha, Tad Vishayaha. It's a nice compound. It's a beautiful Bhaguvriki Samasa. To Tad also Vishaya, Vishaya also Vishaya. That is, two Vishayas are there. One Vishaya means the subject matter. Other Vishaya means the object, the sense objects. Both we use the word Vishaya only. Vishaya means the subject matter, that is that which is the subject matter, and Vishaya also means the sense objects. Therefore, Tad Vishayaha Ragaha means Vishayaha Yasya Saha, qualifying the word Ragasya. So, attachment. Raga is attachment. The attachment for which the object or the objects, the Vishayas. So objects are the objects for that which is attachment, raga. So qualifying the word raga, tad vishayaka, ragaha. So tad vishaya means saha vishayaha vishayaha, yasya ragasya, saha ragaha tad vishayaha. So that is the raga, the fancy, that attachment regarding that object. The attachment regarding that object, that is called tad vishayaka. That is ragaha, na samhriyante, na samhriyate. It is not withdrawn. It remains. It remains in that person, atuhu, sick person. It doesn't go away. It is there. It is not there now because the person is sick. Saha katam samhriyate iti uchyate. If that is the doubt, saha referring to the raga. That raga, how it is. Saha referring to that raga. Saha katam. Saha referring to raga. Saha ragaha katam samhriyate. How it is resolved. How that raga, how that fancy, how that raga, the fancy, the desire for conception will go away. If it is asked, it is uchyate, it is said. Where in the next shloka? Vishayaha vinivartante. Here, raga, raga is the longing, the attachment. Even though dhamma is there, dhamma, the person has got dhamma, doesn't mean the person raga. The person has dhamma doesn't mean he has, doesn't mean yes, he doesn't have raga. Raga is there, attachment or craving, the longing for the objects are there, but the person has got dhamma. He has got mastery over his indriyas. Like the kurma. Like the kurma, he has got certain mastery. Therefore, he is sane. To become a saint, this dhamma should become natural for that person. The craving for those sense objects should drop. The craving for those vishayas has to drop. It should be completely absent. Then only the person become a saint. To be a saint, dhamma is fine, but doesn't mean he doesn't have raga. Raga is there, but raga is where it is raga. Externally, you don't see the raga, but raga is there. When the indriyas are slightly relaxed, then it will flow towards the sense objects. That is a tendency. So, therefore, dhamma being there and raga also being there, that raga, saha ragaha hriyate. That's raga, how it is to be resolved. Externally, you have withdrawn, but internally, that craving is there. So, how to have mastery over that also? If it is asked, that is uchyate, it is said. Vishayaha vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha savarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate iti. So, Vishayaha vinivartante. Vishayaha, that is the sense objects. Vinivartante, they are withdrawn. There is sense objects, not sense objects. Sense objects, the mind has withdrawn from the sense object. Vinivartante. Vishayaha vinivartante. Vishayaha vinivartante. Niraharasya deginaha. The sense objects, vinivartante means they drop off. Vinivartante. Vinivartante means it is drawn, it goes back. So, not that sense objects go back. Sense objects are there, but your sense organs are withdrawn. Therefore, relatively, you can say sense objects are dropped off or withdrawn. Sense organs are withdrawn. So, it's a expression. It's a expression, figurative expression. To say, Vishayaha Vinivartante, sense objects have gone far away from that person. Really, sense objects have gone away. Sense object, where it will go? It will be there around. In the midst of various sense objects, Vishayas, the person has to survive, has to live. He has to encounter it every day. But Vishayaha Vinivartante, we say, it means the person, the sense organs have withdrawn from the sense objects. And it is figuratively presented as Vishayaha Vinivartante, the sense objects drop off or dropped off. For whom? For the person. Niraharasya. Nirahara. Ahara means food. Aharaha nirgataha yasmat. The food. Food means not literally the food which you consume through your mouth. Food means anything you offer to the indriyas. That is the food. That which are consumed by the indriyanis, they are the annam, they are the food. Sound, the shabda, it is the food for ears. The touch is the food for the skin. Similarly, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, these are the food for the pancha jnanendriya. So this is the ahara, this being the ahara, aharaha nirgataha yasmat, from whom this ahara, the food has gone. So referring to that person, niraharasya, tasya purushasya, kaha deginaha. Deginaha here doesn't mean atma. Deginaha means that particular person, the individual person, deginaha. Niraharasya, deginaha, purushasya, niraharasya, purushasya, vishayaha vinivartante, the sense objects are dropped off. Sense objects are dropped. So here we will see Bhashyakara will give two meanings for the word Vishaya. One is Vishaya means the sense organs. One is sense organs. By the Lakshana Vritti, we can take the meaning of the word Vishaya to be sense organs. Sense organs are withdrawn from the sense objects. And another that is the person, that is for the person who practices Dhamma. For him, the sense objects are dropped off. That is one meaning. Bhashyakara gives another meaning also, we will see. So, therefore, the sense objects are dropped off because the person has got Dhamma, Niraharasya, Deginaha. But what about the liking for the sense objects? Rasavarjam. Rasavarjam. Varja is that which is left out, with the exception of that rasa. Rasa means that rasa means that raga. Rasa means raga, attachment. That raga for the objects, that will remain, that will not go. Rasavarjam. Having left that raga, the objects go away, Vishayas go away, but the taste for that objects, that will remain. The taste for that objects will remain. Like the smell of the garlic will not go away, even though the vessel is well cleaned, but that vessel still will smell garlic. Garlic smell will be there. That is called rasavarja. Rasavarjam. So that taste for that it will remain. The taste for that will remain, but the Vishayas are dropped off from the person who is Niraharasya Deginaha, who has from whom these all the from all this the food ahara has gone away. Rasavarjam, rasavarjam, rasavarjam nivartante. Rasavarjam is adverbial here. Niraharasya dekinaha vishayaha rasavarjam nivartante. That is what you have to arrange the words of the shloka. So rasavarjam nivartante. That is leaving the fancy for the sense objects. The sense of leaving the fancy for the sense objects are dropped off for the person who doesn't consume, who doesn't consume the sense object, who doesn't feed the sense organs. And that rasa will be there. And that rasa also, that rasa, the liking, the raga, that also, rasaha api nivartate, goes away when param drishtva. Param drishtva eva, only when the param is paramatmanam, atmanam, paramatmanam, ishvaram, drishtva. That rasa, that craving, the craving which is there inside, that rasam, that go away only when there is paramatma darshanam. Only when there is the darshanam, the vision of paramatma. Only when there is a vision of Jiveshwara Aikyam, only when that Jnanam is there, Paramatma Jnanam is there. Darshana means Jnanam. Drishta means Param Drishtva, having seen the Param. How do you see the Param? Not with your physical eyes. Param Jnatva. Drishta means Jnatva. Param is Atma. Drishtva is Darshanam. So Atma Darshanam, Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. Brahma Jnanena eva, that rasaha, the taste for that will go. The taste for the sense objects will go only when the Jnanam takes place. Only when the Atma Jnanam takes place, only then the taste for the sense objects will go. Till then, the taste for that will be there. Will be there because the previous vasanas are there, the previous habit, the previous vasanas, when you enjoy that vasanas are there, so that will be there. Even that will go only when jnanam takes place. Therefore, because the person has got dhamma doesn't mean he doesn't have raga, and therefore he is not a Chitta Prajna. Dhamma alone doesn't make a person be a Chitta Prajna. What is required is Atma Jnanam, Atma Darshanam. Param Drishtva eva rasaha ragaha api nivartate. If raga has to go, then only the person is completely free. The person may be relatively free externally because he has got dhamma, withdrawn the sense organs. But the person is not completely free. Why? Because the raga is there. Where is the raga? The raga is there inside. You don't see it, it is there. When the situation comes, it will pop up. When the situation comes, the good old personality will manifest. When the good old personality manifests, then it shows the person has not yet gained that jnana nishta. Therefore, for jnana nishta, that rasa also has to go. For that, this rasa also has to go. Iti. This is the meaning. We will read the Bhashya. विषयाः इति
विषयाः इति
इति
विषयाः यद्यपि विषय उपलक्षितानि
यद्यपि
विषय उपलक्षितानि
उपलक्षितानि
यद्यपि विषयोपलक्षितानि
यद्यपि
विषयोपलक्षितानि
विषय शब्दवाच्यानि इन्द्रियाणि
विषयशब्दवाच्यानि
वाच्यानीन्द्रियाणि
इन्द्रियाणि
Here the word Vishaya is that. Where is the word Vishaya? Vishayaha vinivartante. That Vishaya, the Bhashyakara says, Vishaya upalakshitani indriyani. Vishaya upalakshitani indriyani. So, by the word Vishaya, I said Bhashyakara will give two meanings for the word Vishaya. That meaning is giving here. One meaning is giving. Vishaya upalakshitani. Vishaya upalakshitani. That is, Vishayaha means Indriyani. One meaning is Vishayaha means Indriyani. Vishaya Shabda Vachyani Indriyani. By the word Vishaya Shabda, Vachyartha, by the word Vishaya Shabda, not Vachyartha, by the word Vishaya Shabda, Vachyani, what is referred to by the word Vishaya Shabda, Vishaya Shabda, is Indriyani, the sense organs. But what is Lakshyartha? What is implied by the words Vishaya? Vishaya Shabdena Upalakshitani. Vishaya Shabdena Upalakshitani, what? That is Vishaya Shabda Vachyani Indriyani. By the word Vishaya, what is Lakshita? What is indicated? What is indicated? What is indicated is the sense organs. Vishaya upalakshitani, indicated, implied, that is the lakshyartha. Lakshyartha of the word Vishaya. Lakshyartha of the word Vishaya, Vishaya Shabdena. Lakshana vritti. By Lakshana vritti. You know there are three types of the vritti. Jagal Lakshana, Ajagal Lakshana, Jaka Jagal Lakshana. So by Jagal Lakshana vritti, the word Vishaya can be taken to be Vishaya Shabda Vachyani. What is referred to by the word Vishaya is the Indriyani. So, what is revealed by the word Vishaya, what is implied by the word Vishaya is the Indriyani, sense organs. That is one meaning. So, Vishayaha vinivartante means Indriyani vinivartante. Niraharasya deginaha Indriyani nivartante. Indriyas are withdrawn for the person who doesn't feed the sense organs. Taking the meaning of the word Vishaya to be Indriya. This is meaning number one. Bhashyakara says, he gives another meaning also. What is that? Atava Vishayaha eva.
अथवा विषयाः एव
Other meaning, the Vishaya can be taken to be the Vishaya, Indriya Vishaya, Indriyartha. That is the sense objects. The sense objects also can mean the sense objects also. So, Vishayaha by the word Vishayaha, by Vachyartha, we can take the meaning of the word Vishaya to be the sense objects. By Lakshyartha, Jagal Lakshana Vritya, we can take the meaning of the word Vishaya to be the sense organs. Both meaning can be taken. Both meaning fits that very well. Yagarlakshana Vishayaha is equal to Indriyani. That is Lakshyartha. What is implied by the word Vishaya? Vachyartha, taking the literal meaning of the word Vishaya, it means sense objects. Both meaning can take, no problem in that. So, therefore, Vishayaha Vinivartante means sense organs are withdrawn for the person, or sense objects are dropped off for the person. Kasya Niraharasya. What is that Niraharasya? Bhashyakara says. Niraharasya
Aharasya
Anahriyamana Vishayasya
Akriyamana
Yamana
Vishayasya
Vishayasya
Kashte Tapasi Sthitasya
Kashte
Kashyapasi
Tapasi
Tasya
Tasya
Murkhasyapi
Murkhasyapi
Vinivartante Dehinaha Dehavataha.
Vinivartante
Dehinaha
Dehinaha
Dehavataha.
Devataha.
So Vinivartante, drop off. Niraharasya Dehinaha. Niraharasya. Nir Ahara. Ahara already we saw. Nir Aharaha. Ahara is food. Nirahara is Nirgataha Aharaha Yasmat. From whom this Ahara is the concept, desire for conception, that is the desire for sense pleasure, sensory satisfactions have gone. Nirgataha Saha Purushaha Niraharasya Tasya. Bhashyakara gives a word for that. Anahriyamana Vishayasya. Anahriyamana Vishayasya. Anahriyamana is Shanachi. Ahriyamana, na Ahriyamana, Anahriyamana. What Priyava is that? Karmani. You have to see. Ahriyamana. Shanach is that, and Ya is that. So Karmani Shanach. Anahriyamana Vishayasya. Na Ahriyamana, Anahriyamana. That is, that person, the one by whom the Vishayas are not Ahriya, not consumed, not taken. So, Anahriyamana Vishayasya. That is, Vishayasya is referring to the sense objects. The sense objects are not consumed by that person, referring to that person. Anahriyamanasya Vishayasya Niraharasya. That is, the person, he has rejected all those sense pleasures, the desire for sense, the compulsion, the urge for sensory enjoyment. Anahriyamanasya, Anahriyamanaha Vishayaha Yasya Saha Purushaha Niraharasya. So it's a Bahuvrihi Samasa. Anahriyamanaha. Ahriyamanaha means that which is consumed. What is consumed? Vishayas. Ahriyamanaha Vishayaha Yasya Saha. That person who consumes the Vishaya, that person is Ahriyamana Vishayaha. Ahriyamana Vishayaha, Ahriyamana Vishaya, it's a Pratipadikam, referring to that person. Ahriyamana Vishaya. Na Ahriyamana Vishayaha is Nanj Bahuri. Again referring to that person, but the person is the one who doesn't consume. Na Ahriyamanaha. For Ahriyamanaha, na Ahriyamanaha Vishayaha Yasya Saha Purushaha Anahriyamana Vishayaha Tasya Anahriyamana Vishayasya. Because Niraharasya is that, therefore Anahriyamana Vishayasya. It's a Bahudvigi Samasa. That is, sense objects. Vishaya means sense objects. So by the person, the sense objects are not Ahriya, are not consumed, are not experienced. Anahriya Manaha Vishayaha. Vishayaha Yena Saha, not Yasya Saha. Yena Saha would be better. Anahriya Manaha Vishayaha Yena Saha Anagriyamana Vishayaha, referring to that person. It is Tritiya Bahuvrigi. Instead of saying Yasya Saha, Yena Saha would be much better. Anagriyamanaha Vishayaha Yena Saha. Anagriyamanaha is Na Agriyamanaha. Na Agriyamanaha, Anagriyamanaha. Agriyamana Vishayaha means Agriyamanaha Vishayaha Yena Saha. That is the person who consumes sense objects. Opposite of that, Anagriyamanaha Vishayaha Yena Saha. That person who is that Niraharaha, Niraharasya, referring to that person, Bahuvrigi. So, the word, it is in Shashti Vibhakti, Niraharasya. And Deginaha also it in Shashti Vibhakti in this shloka. Deginaha referring to that person. Degin Shabda, Nakaranta Shabda. Deginaha is Shashti Vibhakti, the person. Niraharasya qualifies that. Therefore, Niraharaha must be a Bahuvrigi Samasa. It cannot be Nirahara, not referring to the food. Referring to the person who doesn't consume food. You have to take it as Bahuvrigi. If you take it as just as a word, then it is meaningless. That is why knowledge of Sanskritam is important. Then only you can interpret this shloka. Bhashyakara beautifully gives Anagriyamana Vishayasya. It doesn't talk about the Vishaya, it talks about the person. The emphasis is on the person. That is the Bahuvrigi. Anya Pada Pradana. Talking about the person who doesn't consume, who doesn't take the Vishaya, the objects. Kaha Saha Purushaha. When does it that doesn't take? Kashte Tapasi. Kashte Tapasi. When he does tapas. What tapas? Tapas is the strict discipline doing tapas. That strict discipline is the self-mortification, that is the tapas. Imposing very strict discipline on oneself, that is a tapas. And the tapas is not going to be easy, therefore kashte. The tapas, the disciplines which are very strictly imposed by himself on himself. So kashte tapasya tasya purushasya. Murkasyapi, that person need not be a Prajna, need not be a Jnani. He could be a Murkaha. Murkasyapi. Murkaha literally means fool, idiot. Murkaha. Even for the Murka, here we need not take Murka. No Murka will do tapas. Murkasyapi means a person has got Bhagya Vairagyam, not Antara Vairagyam. That person is Murka. You can take the meaning of the word Murka to be that the person has got Bhagya Vairagyam, but not Antara Vairagyam. So that person, Murkatsyapi, Vinivartante, what? This Indriyas, this Indriyas Vinivartante, Deginaha, Degavataha, the one who has the body, that is referring to the individual, the person, the Jiva, Murkaha. Murkasyapi Vinivartante. Degi meaning that person, that Jiva. For him, Degavataha, the one who has the body, the Jivatma, the Jiva, for that person who has got only Bhagya Vairagyam, therefore Murkaha, Tasyapi, when he imposes strict discipline on himself, for him also, this Vishayaha Vinivartante, because he is Anagriyamana Vishayaha Purushaha. For him also, Vishayaha Vinivartante, Vishayas are, the sense objects are, the sense objects drop off or the sense organs are withdrawn. Both meaning we can take. Does it mean that Murka, that person, Murka is a sadhaka? Sadhaka who has got Bhagya Vairagyam, does it mean that sadhaka, Murka sadhaka, is he a Sataprajna? Is a Jnani? No, he's not a Jnani. He is a Murka sadhaka only. He's a sadhaka only. He's not a Sataprajna. It's not a jnana nishtaha. Atma nishtaha na. Why? Because rasavarjam asti. Rasavarjam. That rasa is the varjam that is left out in that person. Bhashyakara says. Rasavarjam.
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 Rasaha ragaha.
Rasaha
Ragah.
ragaha.
Vishayeshu yaha tam varjayitva.
विषयेषु
Vishayeshu
यः
yaha
वर्जयित्वा
Varjayitva.
Rasavarjam. Rasavarjam means, rasa means raga. Bhashyakara takes the meaning of the word rasa to be raga. The word rasa literally means juice. Phala rasam, fruit juice. Rasam also means rasam, what we consume, that's like a soup. Rasam, juice, rasa. Bhashyakara will discuss why you should take the meaning of the word rasa to be raga. Rasa, the word rasa is used in many places in the Shastram. Raso Vaisaha. Raso Vaisaha. Where did we see that Raso Vaisaha? Rasakhevayam ladva nandi bhavati in the Taittiriya Upanishad. The word rasa there it is used in the sense of ananda. Ananda rasa. Ananda. Atmananda. The word rasa. The word rasa is used in that meaning. Rasa. And rasa means juice also. Rasa means juice. That is the literal meaning. But here Bhashyakara takes the meaning raga. Rasavarjam. Rasam ragam vina ityartha. Rasavarjam means ragam vina. Rasavarjam means, varjam means except. Rasaha means raga, that taste for that, the longing for that. The longing is there. Where it is there? It is there inside. Because the person has deliberately withdrawn his sense organs, therefore it is not seen, but it is there. Where? In the mind it is there. Internally it is there. So rasavarjam, leaving that rasa for what? Vishayeshu ragaha. Raga, this taste for the vishayas, leaving that vishayeshu ragaha varjayitva. Vishayeshu ragaha. Vishayeshu, with reference to the sense objects, yaha ragaha, that raga with regard to the sense object, tam varjayitva, leaving that, having left behind that, what is that? Yaha ragaha, that is for Vishayeshu, with regard to the sense object. Vishayeshu saptami, Vishayeshu ragaha, that is the Vishaya saptami. With regard to the sense objects, yaha ragaha asti, tam varjayitva, accepting that, having left behind that raga, the objects have gone away from that person, or the sense organs are withdrawn by the person. So raga is there. Raga is there. Raga, that is rasa, raga asti eva. Rasavarjam. Rasavarjam is rasasya varjam, rasavarjam. Varjam means varjanam. Varja, the word. The word varja is equal to varjagitva. We are familiar with tva pratyaya. Tva pratyaya you use, when do you use? When two actions are there, one is complete, one is done, after that another is done. The previous action will take the tva pratyaya, we have seen. And tva pratyaya, and one more pratyaya is, which is also used the same sense as tva pratyaya, namul pratyaya. Tva pratyaya or namul, that is also kritanta, krit pratyaya only. So, namul, so rasa plus vrij plus namul, you get the word rasavarjam, namul pratyaya. The content is only, so rasavarjam you will get. Rasavarjam is a word. The vigraha for the word Rasavarjam is Rasam Varjagitva. It is samasa, Nitya samasa. Rasavarjam, it is a samasa. It is a Nitya samasa, Upapada samasa, Rasam Varjagitva. Vigraha vakya for Rasavarjam is Rasam Varjagitva. It is a samasa, Upapada samasa, Nitya samasa. There, this Varjam, the word Varjam has got the pratyaya, Namul pratyaya, which has the same meaning as Tva pratyaya. Now that word Rasavarjam in the shloka, it is used adverbially. It is used in the sense of adverb. Okay, I don't want to make it into a grammar class, but still, some grammar points are there. That is why I'm focusing on that. Adverbial usage. What is the adverbial usage, if you ask? Yeah, a word, an adjective can be converted to an adverb. An adjective can be converted to an adverb by the expression. Like, for example, Saha Shobhanam Patati. Suppose we say Saha Shobhanam Patati. Saha Shobhanam Patati. He reads well, Shobhanam, beautifully. What is Shobhanam there? Shobhanam is adverb. Shobhanam yata bhavati tata patati. That is the meaning of the word Shobhanam. Adverb. Qualifying the verb. Adverb is qualifying the verb. Adjective is qualifying the substantive. Saha Shobhanam patati, when we say Saha patati, he reads. How does he read? Shobhanam. He reads beautifully. What is the word? What is the meaning of the word Shobhanam there? Shobhanam meaning is beautiful. What is that? The parts of speech in that sentence, the word Shobhana. Shobhanam yata bhavati. Already we have got some idea about Shobhanam. Shobhanam yata bhavati tata patati. Therefore, Shobhanam patati, it is adverbial. Ashvaha tivram dhavati. Ashvaha tivram dhavati. Ashvaha dhavati. Horse run. Tivram dhavati. What is tivram? Tivram yata bhavati tata dhavati. Ashvaha. Therefore, tivram is adverb. Tivram, the adjective. You see how adjective is converted to a adverb. Saha mridu pachati. He cooks softly. Mridu. Mridu, what is mridu? Mridu is adverb. Mridu yata bhavati tadvat pachati. Tadvat saha pachati. Mridu pachati. Similarly, here also, tad yata bhavati tata. So, rasavarjam is adverbial, qualifying the verb vinivartante. Rasavarjam vinivartante. Rasasya varjaha, rasavarjanam yasmin tat rasavarjam vinivartante. So, the word rasavarjam is rasam varjagitva. It is used adverbially. It is used adverbially in this shloka. So, rasavarjam, leaving out the rasa, accepting that rasa, the taste for the sense object, leaving out that. Vishayaha vinivartante niragarasya deginaha. And the Bhashyakara, as I said before, he gives the meaning of the word rasa. Even though the rasa means taste, rasa means juice, rasa means ananda, so many other meanings are there for the word rasa. There are different types of rasas are there in the drama, in the Natya Shastram, in the acting. Hasya rasa, Karuna rasa, Raudra rasa, Navarasas are there. That is also rasa. That rasa means a particular expression. That is called rasa. And rasa means juice. Rasa means ananda also. Why should we take the meaning of the word rasa to be raga? That Bhashyakara clarifies in the very next sentence. We will read. Rasa shabdaha
रसशब्दः
सः
rage prasiddhaha
रागे
रागे
प्रसिद्धः
स्वरसेन प्रवृत्तः रसिकः रसज्ञः इत्यादि दर्शनात्
स्वरसेन
स्वरसेन प्रवृत्तः रसिकः सख्यः इत्यादि दर्शनात्
Rasa shabdaha prasiddhaha. It is popular, it is well known. By what meaning? Ragaha iti prasiddhaha. Rage iti prasiddhaha. Rasa shabdaha, the word rasa, it is well known, it is popular in the meaning of raga. Raga means the liking, the taste, the attachment, the longing, the raga, in the sense of the taste, the liking. The word rasa is very well known. Therefore, swarasena pravruttaha, that is an expression. Swarasena pravruttaha rasikaha rasajnaha ityadi darshanat. Swarasena, by one's own liking. Swarasena pravruttaha, engaged. The person is engaged by his own liking. Who is that person? It's called rasikaha. We have got now Rasikar Mandram all over. Why it's called Rasika? Because the person has got rasa for that person. That is why it's called Rasika. Rasigan. Rasigan. The word is there in Tamil. Rasika. That's what it is. Rasika. Rasaha asya asti. That's called Rasika. In fact, the word Tamil word Rasika also I am not sure whether it is really Tamil word or borrowed from Sanskrit. The word Sanskrit word is Rasika. Rasaha asya asti iti rasikaha. That becomes Rasigan maybe in Tamil. Rasajnaha, rasam janati iti rasajnaha, the one who knows the taste. Because such expressions are there, ityadi darshanat, such because ityadi darshanat, that such expressions are there. Therefore, swarasena pravruttaha, because of one's own liking is pravruttaha, is engaged, therefore he is called rasikaha, rasajnaha, ityadi pradashanat. It is ityadi. It is seen in all these such expressions, darshanat. Therefore, we can take the meaning of the word rasa to be raga. Bhashyakara says, therefore, we can take the meaning of the word rasa to be raga. In spite of rasa having several meanings, it is proper to take the word rasa to mean raga in this context because of the expressions rasika, rasajnaha iti. Therefore, rasa means raga. Rage iti arte prasiddhaha rasa shabdaha. Swarasena purushaha pravruttaha ataha eva rasajnaha rasikaha iti. Iti darshanat. Ityadi darshanat. Therefore, now the next line. Staha api rasaha.
सः अपि
अपि
रसः
रसः
Ranjana rupaha.
रञ्जनरूपः
Sukshmaha.
सूक्ष्मः
Asya yatehe.
अस्य यतेः
Paramartha tattvam brahma
परमार्थतत्त्वं ब्रह्म
दृष्ट्वा उपलभ्य
दृष्ट्वा उपलभ्य
अहम एव तत् इति वर्तमानस्य निवर्तते
अहमेव तत् इति वर्तमानस्य निवर्तते
निर्बीजं विषय विज्ञानं संपद्यते इत्यर्थः
निर्बीजं विज्ञानं संपद्यते इत्यर्थः
रसः सः अपि रसः रञ्जनरूपः रसः नैस् वर्ड् रञ्जन रञ्जयति इति रञ्जकः कलरिङ्ग् इस् अट्राक्षन् रञ्जयति रञ्जन Anjana, the word Anjana, Niranjana, Niranjana, stainless. Anjana, the liking for that person liking the attraction, all those are Ranjana. That becomes Anjana. Anjana, opposite of Anjana is Niranjana. Niranjanananda, the Swami with the name Niranjanananda. There is no Anjana, there is no stain in that person. That's why it's called Niranjana, Niranjana. Here, Rasaha means Ranjana Rupaha, that which is in the form of Rupaha, in the form of liking, Ranjana, the attraction, the Raga, Ranjana. And which is Sukshmaha, it is subtle. Why? It is not seen. The attraction of the sense organs toward the sense object, it is not seen, but it is there. Because the person has got Dhamma, Indriya Nigraha, therefore it is not seen, but it is there. Sukshmaha. It will surface when the right situation comes. When the appropriate situation comes, it will surface. Because he has not yet completely removed that raga. The raga has not gone away. When that raga will go away? Only when the jnanam take place. Only when the jnanam take place, then only the raga will go away. Param drishta eva nivartante. Param drishta eva nivartante. Now, see, the raga will not go completely till jnanam takes place. And the jnanam also can take place only when this raga goes away, completely raga goes away. So this is called Anyonya Ashraya. Catch 22 situation. One depends on the other. The person will get married only when his madness go away. He can get married to a girl only when the madness goes away. And the girl also will marry the person only when the madness goes away. Madness will go only when the person marries a girl, the doctor says. And the girl also will marry the person only when the madness goes away from the person. So this is catch-22 situation. Anyonya Ashraya, mutual dependence. Mutual dependency. Raga is there, therefore Atma Darshanam cannot happen. Rasavarjam asti, therefore Atma Darshanam cannot happen. And Atma Darshanam will not come till Atma Darshanam comes, the raga also will not go away. So it's a difficult situation. So, therefore, how to handle this? First, we have to handle the raga dvesha. We have to handle the raga dvesha by applying our viveka. At least raga dvesha, this stula form should be reduced and should be overcome. Then the more and more viveka we develop, strengthening oneself in terms of viveka, that is in terms of Atmajnana. When Atmajnanam is more than this, the raga dvesha, then the person will have enough strength. The person will have enough strength and he can subdue the raga dvesha. And also the prayers, satsanga, Shastra Pratanam, Guru Prasadanam, all those things are there. So that one can slowly overcome the raga dvesha and get established in Nididhyasana and therefore in Jnana-Nishta. So, first the raga dvesha at the stula form has to be handled. For that, one needs to have viveka. Viveka is very important. So now, here in this line, Bhashyakara says that Ranjana Rupaha Ragaha Sukshmaha Asya Yatehe, for that see persons. Yatehe here, Yati means Rishi, Muni. Yatate iti Yatihi, the one who strives is called Yati. Yati means sannyasi. Here we can take Yatehe means Sadhakasya, the Sadhaka. He is not yet become Yati. He is in the process of becoming a Yati. a muni, a sannyasi. Need not be a literal sannyasi, antara sannyasi. Grihasthashrame tishtati api sannyasi eva saha. Because he has got antara sannyasa. So yatehe asya param, paramartha tattvam. What is that? Brahma. That paramartha tattvam, Brahma, drishtva upalabhya. Drishtva is having seen upalabhya. How do you see? Upalabhya means having understood. Having seen, drishtva means jnatva. Upalabhya is having gained. How do you gain? It is gaining in terms of understanding. Brahma cannot be gained. It is gaining means in terms of understanding. In Kathopanishad we have seen param chet jnatavyam, aparam chet praptavyam. If it is apara vishaya, then it is to be gained in terms of time and place. If it is para vishaya, it is gaining it in terms of understanding. So Bhashyakara gives upalabhya. Upalabhya means having understood. Drishta is equal to upalabhya. Having understood what? Agam eva tat. Tat referring to Brahma. I alone that. I am that. Iti vartamanasya. Being in that vartamanasya. Remaining vartamanasya. Remaining in that. What? In that understanding. Only when remaining in the understanding, nivartate, goes away. The seeds drop off. What? Rasaha. Rasaha nivartate. So, only when he understands agam eva tat, tad brahma agam eva asmi iti, jnanena eva, brahma jnanena eva, atma jnanena eva, ragaha vartamanasya, अस्मिन् ज्ञाने वर्तमानस्य पुरुषस्य रागः निवर्तते. Only when this understanding is there, then only that rasaha also goes away, nivartate. Otherwise, it will be there as a bija, as a seed. It will be there. The seed also has to go. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa beautifully says, for the seed not to sprout. The seed, when seed is there, it will sprout. If you don't want the seed to sprout, the seed should be roasted. That roasting is called jnana. So by roasting, you make the bija to be a nirbija. It will not be a bija, a source for further development. So therefore, the bija is not there. Therefore, it will not sprout again. The person is completely free. Backed up by Dhamma, Shama and Jnanam, the person is completely free. That's what Bhashyakara says in the next line. Nirbijam.
Nirbijam.
Already we have read this line, right? Nirbijam.
Yeah.
Nirbijam is, there is no bija, seedless. Like the seedless grapes, no bija. Sampadyate. Nirbijam sampadyate. He becomes seedless. Nirbijam sampadyate. He gains, he becomes seedless. Vishaya jnanam. Vishaya vijnanam. Vishaya vijnanam. Ityartah. The meaning is this Vishaya vijnanam, the jnana, the knowledge, the perception of the Vishaya, the objects, that becomes seedless. He will be perceiving objects, but the objects will not create further some vasana, so that it will sprout again. It will not create any further sprouting. It will not be a source of development, the form of sprout. The Vishaya Jnanam is required. Vishaya Vijnanam is required for what? For Vishaya Vijnanam. Only when Vishaya Vijnanam is there, then only there is Raga or there is Dvesha. The knowledge of the objects has to be there. Then only you have Raga for the objects or Dvesha for the objects. When Vishaya Jnanam itself becomes Nirbija, when Vishaya Jnanam itself becomes Nirbija, there is no Bija, then what will happen? Will it sprout? It will not sprout. The Raga Dvesha will not sprout. The Raga Dvesha will not sprout. So, therefore, this Vishaya Bija will become Nirbija. The perception of the objects becomes Nirbija, becomes seedless for creating this Raga Dvesha. That's called Nirbija. Nirbijam Vishaya Vijnanam. Vishaya Vijnana means this sense perception, the perception of the objects that becomes incapable. That becomes incapable of generating or creating bija in the form of ragadvesha. So therefore you will look upon the Jagat as Jagat, Ishvara Srishti as Ishvara. He will not color the Ishvara Srishti with his own Srishti. Our own Srishti is Jiva Srishti. Jiva creates its own Loka, Jagat. When there is no objectivity, the person will superimpose his Srishti on the Jiva Srishti, his Srishti on the Ishvara Srishti, and therefore we will criticizing the Ishvara. Why Bhagavan created this Jagat? Why did he create the Jivas? Why should we undergo this pain and suffering? Ishvara Srishti being there, it is without any blemish. It is there. It is in keeping with the order, it is there. It is you who superimpose your Srishti on Ishvara Srishti and complain. Now, when this Bija is not there, when the Vishaya Vijnana becomes Nirbija, Jiva Srishti is dropped. There is no your superimposition on the Ishvara Srishti. Jiva Srishti is a source for all the suffering. This Raga Dvesha is Jiva Srishti. That goes away. Then what will happen? Nirbijatvam sampadhyate iti ityartaha. That is the meaning. The next line. Nasati samyak darshane rasasya uchchedaha.
Samyak darshane rasasya uchchedaha.
Na asati. Samyak darshane asati. Asati is Nimitta Saptami. Nimitta Saptami, we translate, whenever we say it is Nimitta Saptami, and the Nimitta Saptami is translated as when it is not. Na, here asati, it is in negative, asati. Sati, na asati. Samyak darshane asati. When Samyak darshanam, when Ishvara darshanam and Atma darshanam is not there. Samyak darshane asati, when there is no Samyak darshane asati, when clear vision is not there. What is the vision? Atma darshanam. Brahma darshanam is not there. Then rasasya uchchedaha, the removal of the rasa. Raga dvesha uchchedanam, the neutralization of raga and dvesha, rasa. Na bhavati, not possible. As long as the Samyak Darshanam, the Jnana Nishtha doesn't happen, as long as the person doesn't have the vision of the Shastram, the vision of Brahma, Atma Darshanam, Shastra Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam is not there, as long as it is not there, then Rasasya Uchchedaha na bhavati, then the removal of this Rasa, the Raga Dvesha, cannot happen, will be there. So, for Raga Dvesha to go completely, what is required is Atma Darshanam eva. Atma Darshanam alone, by Atma Darshanam alone, this Raga also goes away. That is why Param Drishtra Nivartate iti. So, Raga Dvesha will be there. Raga Dvesha will be there even when the person has Dhamma, and that Raga Dvesha will go completely only when Jnanam takes place. When Jnanam takes place. So, in Jnana Nishtha, there is complete Vairagyam. That Vairagyam is what we really desire for. In the beginning, we deliberately superimpose on us certain Vairagyam. That is to start with. We keep ourselves away from the sense objects so that they don't disturb us. Later, even in the presence of them, we don't get disturbed. That is the Jnana Nishtha. So that is the ultimate point or gain of Vairagya. That is real culmination of Vairagya. The real culmination of Vairagya happens only in Jnana Nishtha. So therefore, Bhashyakara says, Asasya Uchchedaha na bhavati. Samyak darshane asati. Samyak darshane sati. Asasya Uchchedaha bhavati. Therefore, Tasmat
तस्मात्
Samyak darshanatmikayaha
सम्यक्
दर्शनात्मकायाः
दर्शनात्मकायाः
prajnayaha
प्रज्ञायाः
स्थैर्यं कर्तव्यम् इति अभिप्रायः.
धैर्यं
धैर्यं कर्तव्यम् इति अभिप्रायः
तस्मात् therefore स्थैर्यं कर्तव्यम्. Therefore स्थैर्यं स्थिरस्य भावः स्थैर्यः. Steadiness कर्तव्यं should be done. Steadiness should be brought about. How? Samyak darshanatmikayaha prajnayaha. Prajna is jnana, wisdom. So samyak darshanatmikayaha, in the form of the right vision, the clear vision. In the form of clear vision, the steadiness has to be brought about. Therefore, tasmat samyak darshanatmikayaha prajnaha स्थैर्यं कर्तव्यं. स्थैर्यं is a tadita word. स्थैर्यं is prajnastairyam. Prajnastairyam kartavyam. स्थैर्यं, that clarity, firmness in understanding. That understanding, that firmness in that understanding has to be brought about. How? By nididhyasanam, by assimilating. By assimilating, it has to be brought about. First is understanding, then is assimilation. Understanding may be there, but assimilation may not be there. When assimilation is not there, when understanding is there, assimilation is not there, the person is not a Jnana Nishtha. He continues to be tossed up and down by Raga Dvesha. Understanding is there, but that assimilation, that Samyak Darshanam happens only when it is completely assimilated. So, therefore, Stairyam is an important word. That is Siddha Prajna. Stairyam Kartavyam iti Abhiprayaha. Okay. With this, the Bhashya to this shloka is completed. Next shloka, do that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद जी.